everybody, and welcome to another session of the Creator Space Online. So right now we're going to be doing mixed media, publishing holiday art and photography books. So thanks for joining us. If you've joined us in the past couple workshops, we've been looking at photography for the holidays, doing some post-processing, and now we're looking at, okay, well, we have all these assets done. So it could just be your art, it may be something that you've been illustrating, some photography you've done, and now you might want to make some sort of a photo book with these assets. So it's a great way to get into creating things, but also how do you maybe do a year-end portfolio share that you want to share with friends, family, clients, other artists. And this is kind of the idea, is how do we put something together in a book format? So that's what we'll be looking at today. So I want to start off by thanking all of our partners in this project. So we have the Canada Council for the Arts, and then we have all our library partners. So we have the Blue Mountains Public Library, we've got the Collingwood Public Library, and we have the Wasaga Beach Public Library. So the good news is the software I'm showing you, Affinity Publisher, is just kind of, it's similar to Adobe InDesign. So it's a desktop publishing software tool, and it's available, it's loaded at all the library partners' iMac computers. So we have iMac computers, 27-inch iMacs loaded with this software, Affinity Publisher, that you can go and use at our library partners. So if you're a member of the Blue Mountains Public Library, Collingwood Public Library, or Wasaga Beach Public Library, please be sure to go and access these amazing digital arts workstations that you can then do your desktop publishing in and work on assets in there. So what is this software? So here it is, Affinity Publisher software. It's available for Windows and Mac OS, and it's a one-time purchase fee. It's about $75, and it's similar to Adobe's InDesign, and it's great because you can quickly work on things. It's a low-cost one-time fee. You're not doing any kind of a rental, and you can bring it, leave it on your desktop and go from there. So laptops, desktop. Now, it's, again, as I mentioned, is available at the library. So if you don't want to purchase it, you want to try it out, there's also a free trial for a short period that the software offers, and otherwise come and use it at our digital art stations. We hope that you could. So we're going to look at just bringing stuff in, so adding text, elements, the different persona modes, and then how we can prepare things and export a book in this software and get to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get over here. I have some images that I have, and what I will do is, where is it here? So I'm going to just open this up. So I'm going to open up Affinity Publisher. It's going to launch right here on the desktop. And there we go. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start a new document. So here you can say, what do you want? So I'm going to work in letter mode, and you can say, how many pages do you want? So I'm going to say, let's do 5 pages. Great. And what we have here now is we have our master, and then we have page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see it's ready for basically printing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what I'll do now is I can bring images in. So I can use these different boxes. Oops. So let's say I want to do this right here. And I'm going to just go to, I made a folder with the images, photos for publisher, and these are some of the photos we've been working on so far. There we go. So now I basically used the image folder here, and this is page 1, and I can just now place it where I want it. It's really that simple. And it will line up. It has the lineup tools, which is really great. So, is it centered? And then where it could be centered directly in the page, like so. So let's say I want that to be there's my first page, page 1. So we have that photo, and then I can say, well, let's add some text. So I can say artistic text, and I can say, okay, let's do this. So we can say cookies, right? And that's it. So that's how we can add text. It's a really intuitive program. And again, lining up, where do we want it lining up? Justified with the photo, or do we want to line it up in the middle of the page like so? So that could be in the middle. And it's going to also tell me, where, if it's lined up here, I can also line it up on this side. So, what can be interesting? So that's cool. That could be my front cover. It could be that. Nice. Okay. So now, let's say overall, if we want to, create, maybe some sort of a color tone, we can put a big window like so, and then maybe we can say we want everything to be so you can see what I've done here is the master page. I said, hey, let's make everything that background. So we're going to have a nice quick background like so. Okay, so now I'm going to go back. I'm going to go here. So you can see I'm just clicking on each page, page 2, page 3. So that's page 2, and I'm going to choose another image. And I'm going to click this one. And there we go. And what I'm going to need to do is I can just kind of figure out where I want it. I'm just going to drag it over here. Let's say that. So that's going to fit up that side, right? So you can just, figure out where you want these images. Okay, I'm going to cancel that. So let's go to page 3. Page 3 right here, and we get another image. Okay, and I'm just going to go back here. Get rid of that. I just want to play with these on their own so we're not kind of stuck with these. Okay, and and I'm just going to get another layer in here. Okay, and now I'm going to place this image right in here, and you can see. So what I've done is I've put a box. So kind of two ways. So we can just insert, create a photo box. We can also create these boxes here, and then I go up to File, Place, and choose the photo and where I want to place it. So that's another great way that I can bring these images in, and then we can move these around. And the same tools apply, like is it centered, is it lined up with the other image here? And it could be like that. So work with it like that. Okay, and I'm just going to get rid of this one here. Okay, okay, and now we're going to go to page 4. Same idea. Now, what I'll do is maybe let's play with like a circle. And this is where we can get something interesting. We can create these circle frames to place our images into. And you can see I can just move the image around. But it's interesting, you know, like it's definitely really interesting. And then I can decide, you know, how zoomed in I want it to be. That's pretty cool. Yeah, and then our last page, we'll do a box. Okay, and same thing with place. There we go. So we've placed our images. So again, I'm just taking these photos, placing them in here. I got page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5. Now here, you can add text blocks as well. So I can, by simply hitting the T there, and I can say, okay, let's have some text in here. So, and here I can type. So, once a time there was a man who enjoyed holiday cookies, right, and so on. So you can describe whatever you want, and this is pretty intuitive. So you have the text box, and then we can say, you know, what do we want to do within the text. So you can go up here, you know, do we want it to be bold? Do we want it to be, you know, what kind of point size? You know, it could be big. There's style things, and you know, what kind of font. So we can play with different fonts and so on. So whatever fonts you have loaded on your system, that's what you'll be able to access as well. So it can work quite nicely that way. Okay, so that's how we can effectively work on it. So now here's the neat thing. So not only can I put these images here, but watch this. I can now, so here's my image. I've selected this layer. And what's really cool about Affinity Publisher is I can go to these persona modes at the top here. I'm just going to zoom up here. These are personas. So I can actually say, hey, let's pretend, not pretend, but let's actually go into photo persona and watch this. Now I can play with this image. Right? I can play with exposure on it, making it a bit darker. And that's the really cool, amazing thing here, is that it basically lets us get back into Affinity Photo and then work on different aspects of this to you know, make it work. And so I can make it a bit brighter, I can make it a bit darker. Right? So you can play with your images. I can play with you know, make it a bit brighter. I can put a lot more contrast. You know, so I can really redefine things quickly. So that's that. And then I go, once I'm happy with that, I just go back to the publisher, and all my savings are, all my work there is saved right into the page. So I don't have to do any other changes. So for example, let's go to this one. Same thing, I'm going to go to the photo, go here, and I can say, brighter, less contrast, and make it black and white. And that's it. I can quickly have that made into black and white, and I go back to the publisher, and it's all saved. So I can go to the different personas and make that work, which is a really great tool to be able to have and in our, you know, storytelling and process of how to make this work. So that's really our the cool thing of what's possible here in the different personas. Okay. let's go back to our master pages. So, here's where we can really play with, what could be in the master page. So we can say, maybe we make a whole big box, and we can have some kind of textured picture frame, and maybe we can place so let's say this guy is behind everything. That could be, we can play with something like that. So it's a cool way where we can kind of assess what we might want to do in this page essentially. There's a lot of interesting things that we can try out. Okay, so now if we've done all this kind of work on this, what else can we do with it? And one of the questions here always comes down to when we're done, what can we export as and so on. So the cool thing is then I can actually so let's first of all save this. So I'm going to save as, and I'm going to put this on a local hard drive. Publisher demo. Great. And then I'm going to call it year and photo book. Okay, so that's really important, always to save as we go. Now, the thing that we wanted to then do is, how can we export this? So I'm going to go to export, and then I want to figure out, how to create the pages. So I'm going to say, let's get all the pages. So PDF, digital, and I'm going to go to an export, and I'm going to say, book exports. Let's see, where is this? Yeah, I think it's on the desktop. Save. It's going to export it all through. It's going to take a little bit of time. Just export this through, and perfect. So I'm going to go Command H to hide this. Oops, I'm in full mode here, so I'm just a little bit confused. There we go. Okay, so Command H and Publisher demo material. Book exports. Here we go. So year and photo book. So here it is. It's going to open it up as a PDF. So you can see here's page 1, page 2, page 3, 4, and 5. And that's it. So now I can take that and share it. What's the size of that? Let's have a look. Get info. It might be a little bit big. 13 megabytes. Okay, so now that's always a great thing. What do we do to help us share this a little bit, make it a bit smaller? 13 megs, it's okay, but it's always nicer if we can make it a bit smaller. So let's do the same thing. We can go export, PDF, and here I can make it a bit smaller. And I can say, well, let's go maybe, 96 DPI. And we have, kind of, 96. Let's do that. And I'm going to go all pages. And now it's saying, look, it's going to be about 2 megabytes. So I'm going to call it small, just so I remember that I did that. And for digital sharing, I think that's going to be okay, because essentially, it's not a bad thing if it's a bit smaller. Then we can just email it out, and that looks pretty nice. I don't think we've really lost anything, and that's again a way to create a small book. Get info. Yeah, 2 megabytes. So that's perfect. That's a great size for sharing and for emailing, and that's kind of where you want to be. So it's not too big, it's not too you know, because 13 megs could be a bit big in terms of sending it out. So something to always consider is check your file size, because you don't want to be sending, your email might not be able to send a 20 megabyte, 10-page photo book or, you know, art book. So again, this could be photos, and just like I placed photos, we can place art. So let's look at the same concept here. Let's say you want to do like a year-end, you know, celebration of art. Let's do a new document. So same idea. Maybe we're going to make it, you know, it can be different sizes. So let's make it like legal. I think there's also, maybe like photo, print, press ready, photo. Yeah, so you can do like this kind of photo book. So that could be kind of neat too. So let's do like, you know, 4x6 kind of photo book. And that's cool because it can just be a vertical type thing if we're going to be emailing it out. So here we go, page 1. You can see now it's like photos, page 1, 2, 3, right? So we can go like that. And now same idea, I'm going to put a box, let's say like this. And I'm going to place artwork. So I think we have some on the desktop, publisher, designer demo. So we'll put a Niagara, put this, you know, so that was, well, still kind of more of a photo. let's put something else in there. File, place. Oops. I know I did some drawings here somewhere. So let's just find the right folder. Desktop. Let's go right here into my main drive. Okay, there we go. So Niagara Falls painting. Here we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay, so here's a painting of that that photo. So we can just kind of resize it so it stays in here. Or maybe we want it a bit bigger. We're going to kind of recrop it. And there we go. So that could be our first or second page. Let's go to our first page here. We can play with, you know, where these images are. Does it take up the whole space? And just think about the design of it. You know, so here's another painting done of the Collingwood terminals. That's great. And then we can just make these a bit bigger if we want that framing to be a bit bigger. But that's really cool. Okay, so here we go. And again, we'll put a little bit of a title here. So year 2021 illustrations by Tom Sternad. And then we can, you know, make these a bit bigger. So again, we just go to the point size and maybe, you know, like 20 point. Okay. Perfect. And then we can just line it up. Where do we want this? Exactly. So again, I might just snap it. See, so it's in the middle. Maybe I want to align it just with the edge here. And we can make it kind of snap so it goes across the whole first painting. There we go. There's the next one. Page 3. And I think about the negative space in presenting stuff. And I think that's always important in any kind of design. So we're doing a book design, but if we start to think about that, you know, the negative space, you know, that's really important because, you know, what is it doing to the image, right? So now we got all this white space, and that's pretty dynamic. And when you're looking at stuff, it's like, oh, okay, well, this is meant to be in that negative space. So think about that use of space in presenting things. It doesn't have to fill up the whole page, but it can. So I can make it a lot bigger. I can say, well, let's put this one really big because that's how I want to present it. So again, think about what story you're telling, what you're trying to achieve with these, and that's, I think, always important to to continue that the narration of what's going on. Again, back to one of my favorite images. This is going to be the image of the day for sure. And then maybe we want that circle. Maybe there's something, kind of want to highlight something you've done that's a little bit different. And don't be afraid to use the circle image, and in putting something out there. There you go. There's the circle logo like that. Right, so, and again, same idea. I want to save this, save as, and year-end illustration book. And so this is that saving it as a dot to the publisher file. So this is, so I can reopen it. This isn't something I can share. That first save is just for the file saving. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the export, here, same thing, PDF, and let's try 144. All the pages. Look, it's not going to be that big at all because it's a lot smaller of a 4x6. So let's export that. Book exports, year-end illustration book. Save. Voila. Command H. Year-end illustration book. Right click. Let's get the info. What is that? 2.8 megabytes. Nice size. And here it is. Here's the PDF book. So that's it. A digital book. We don't have to print it. This can be sent, and this could be 20 pages, 100 pages. Just remember, you can preset how many pages you want to use. You can add more as well. But that's it. This is how we can convert. We can. I'm just reading this button here. Convert. We can send this over to people. They can go over. What did we do over the year as artists? So this could be photos, drawings, combination. Maybe there's a bit of some story, some script that you wrote with images. So think of whatever you want to present. This can be for family, friends, clients, an overview. This could be a profile download. This could be something that you want to sell. It could be your photos as a photo book, digital photo book that people can sell or access, or it could just be on the website to download as kind of a portfolio book. Why not? Why not have a bit of a portfolio book that you can use to put together kind of, what did you do in the year-end overview, and to make things, to celebrate what you've done as an artist. And also maybe you just want to have photos. Maybe you're going to capture photos and tell a story of this. What's the 2021 holiday season like? What's New Year's 2022 look like, right? So you can tell different stories over the holidays too. And it's a great time to, practice your craft as in digital artistry and working with mixed media. That's where we have take the photos or do drawings, and then you create a book. The other thing too is you can also get this published. So we can, this can be all print ready. You can send it over to a place where they can do some printing. You can get some actual physical printed books out, and then you can share it with that. It can make gifts, and it could be a great kind of calling card or almost like a business card that you can use in the new year. So it's a great time to celebrate what you've been doing, to explore some of these new tools of presentation. And I think digital presentation, and then it can be digitally designed, and then you might want to print an actual copy out of the book. So we have a lot of options with Affinity Publisher. So again, yeah, thanks for joining us. It's been a pleasure. this will be our last workshop for 2021. So it's been really great to do this. We have a ton of new things coming out for 2022 in person, also some small meeting groups, continuing online workshops. So we have a lot of options. So please visit our website, tbmcs.ca. Be sure to check that out. And there'll be more and more of these elements showing up. But there'll be some small room group meetings where you can get together to really perfect specific digital arts disciplines and go from there. As always, you can rewatch this when we're done. I hope you can practice some of this, and be sure to check out the our library partners for the amazing iMac digital art stations that you can access there and be able to use. So again, remember that this is the Affinity Publisher software. This is loaded on the iMacs at our digital arts computer stations at our library partners. So want to thank all our partners in this project once more: Canada Council for the Arts and our library partners, where you can check out this equipment: Blue Mountains Public Library, Collingwood Public Library, Wasaga Beach Public Library. Again, thanks for joining us. Have a great rest of the day, and I will see you guys soon. Take care.